Hi, welcome to another video brought to you by Autowave. In this video, we've got a Golf Mark 7 2018. It's got a private plate on it though. It's a GTE model with a virtual cockpit. Now we're going to use ACDP to do a spare key on this vehicle. Now it's a little bit more complex because we have to remove the instrument cluster and take it apart. The lucky thing is that we have got a working spare key. So we'll go in the vehicle, I'll show you the working spare key, we'll connect into the vehicle, do an OBD detect, ensure that we can do the job, and then I'll show you how to remove the instrument cluster, how to read it on the bench, and how to add the spare key, all on this video. Okay, so for the purpose of the video, I just wanted to show you, you've got the working key, locks and unlocks, and this is the new key. We've already cut it. It's an AUT RK0079, and obviously the remote's not working. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my foot on the brake and start the vehicle. Now this is an electric vehicle, well it's GTE, so obviously you can't hear the engine, but you can just watch. We're moving backwards because this is a fully working key. So if I put the new key in and try and start the vehicle, obviously it doesn't start the vehicle. Immobilizer active. So this is obviously a non-working key. To the vehicle via OBD, and just do an OBD detect just to show you that the job can be done. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect the ACDP device, which is connected to my laptop via USB. I'm going to connect it to OBD into the vehicle, turn the ignition off, connect it to OBD, and that's all connected. So what I'd like to do now with my working key, I'm going to turn the ignition on, I'm going to go onto my ACDP device, go to VW, go to MQB IMO, MQB 48, IMO, and OBD identify. So this is going to read me the part number of the instrument cluster so I can check if it's supported or not. And it'll also give me the key data and give me various things. So I am going to press continue now on the screen. And there we go. So it's got the VIN number, it's got the part number for the actual instrument cluster, what type of instrument cluster it is, and various other things, if the key's learned, etc, etc. So I'm good. I know that I've got communication with the cluster. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try, now I know this will be unsuccessful, but for the purpose of the video, I'm going to try and obtain the IMO data by reading by OBD. Now if this fails, which in this case it will, what I will have to do is I'll have to take the cluster out, read the data from the cluster, convert that into immobilizer data using the ACDP, then with that data make a dealer key, and then plug back into the vehicle to learn the keys in. So you can see here, again, it's pulled up the system info. Now it's going to try and read the data, which is the IMO data, and it says on there, unsupport OBD mode, unsupport OBD read IMO data. So that means I'm going to have to do the job on the bench. Now I'm going to show you, I've unclipped most of the panels anyway, I'm going to show you how to remove the instrument cluster, and then we can get on with the next stage of the video. So now what we need to do first of all, you have to remove this trim around the radio, which just clips out. Once we've clipped that out, it will allow, if you see here there's another little connector, it will allow you to unclip this part. Before you do that, you need to pull the cowling up. This is just clipped down, so you pull that off. That will unclip, allow you to pull this clip out, and along the way you will need to also just undo this clip. There's two Torx screws down at the bottom. I've removed them already here, as you can see. And then, now these are very, very tight. You will have to pull with some force, but you'll be able to pull the instrument cluster out. And then once you've pulled the instrument cluster out, you will just need to disconnect. You've got one connector here at the top, which has got like a little clip on it, which is standard VAG style. And then you've also got your fiber optic connections here. Now this loom is normally connected onto this little bit of plastic here as well, so you will need to undo that. Obviously I've already undone that. Now if I just carefully take this out, it's a very expensive instrument cluster. So just to recap, unclip this bit, unclip the top of the cowling, unclip the fascia, and unclip this vent. That will allow you access to the screws. Take the screws out, pull the cluster out. Very tight instrument cluster, but keep pulling, it will come out. Obviously be careful not to damage the cluster. Now we'll take this inside and we'll read the data on the bench. Okay, so on the back of the instrument cluster we have 3 screws. Can remove those screws. I've already taken 2 of them out. That is for the speaker. We also have the screws around the outer edge. Again, I've already taken them out. They're all silver screws. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So just take all the screws out. Now I can take the speaker out just carefully. And there's a little connector here for the speaker. Right, we'll also need to disconnect this little plug here because that's for the fan. So I'm just going to take that plug out. So that plug is now released. And then you've got some lugs on the side. You undo those on either side. And then it will allow you to take the back cover off. And again, the part number that we read earlier using the ACDP device is the same part number that we've got here. Now, the next thing I will do is I need to separate this board from here in order to read it. So I'm going to disconnect this ribbon. I'm going to disconnect this red plug. Careful of your cables. I'm going to disconnect this ribbon here as well, just by pulling those bits. And then finally, I'm just going to disconnect this red connector with the ribbon connector on it as well. So now I've done that, it'll allow me to carefully lift this off. I can take this part out of the way. Now this is the bit where obviously you have to be very careful because we're going to remove this plastic outer trim and also the metal coverings. Now they're held in by these lugs. So you can get obviously a small flat blade and just open them up, and then it'll allow you to take the metal casing off, which I am going to do now. And then I just take this plastic trim off as well. Just comes off quite easily, like so. So now I've exposed the circuit board, and the important bit for me is this microprocessor here because... Okay, so now we've identified which processor is on the circuit board. Now it's going to allow us to connect our MQB adapter using our ACDP device. Okay, so we're going to go to MQB IMO. MQB48 ICP read dashboard. Now, because I've identified that this is a 3526 at the end, I can see the menu that I need to go on to. So I select into the menu and I've got a potential of 5 different boards. So I would select the help section, and that gives me a photo of each instrument cluster. So I have to match up which instrument cluster. So I've gone through each one and I've established that the instrument cluster is this one. So that looks exactly the same as what we have there. Okay, so this gives me instructions on exactly how to connect, and I'm going to be using the MQB 81. So it shows you what I'll need, which I have here, and I'm just going to go ahead and connect it as per the diagram. Okay, so now I'm successfully connected. I'm just going to connect my ACDP device. So that's all now connected nicely. I'm going to go ahead and read my IMO data. Okay, I've got good pin contacts, so that's good. I'm going to continue. It's connected to the instrument cluster. Now it's going to decrypt the chip and it's going to start reading everything. Read the data successfully. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue. Now, it's going to save all the data from the instrument cluster. It will do it all automatically on the ACDP device. So there we go. So that's all done. So we've read the data from the instrument cluster. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make the dealer key. So if I go back into here, I've read the dashboard. Now I'm going to press IMO. So we've identified, we are going to now obtain the IMO data. We obtain the IMO data by what we've just read. So it says on the screen, prepare the reading of the meter chip. If it has an external EEPROM, we also need that. So that's fine. We haven't got an external EEPROM. We've just got the data from here. So you can see I've saved my data. open that file. It's loading up that data. Then it's going to ask me if I've got any external EEPROM, which I haven't. I'll select no. And at that point, it will calculate the immobilizer data. Once I've calculated the immobilizer data, I will then be able to make a dealer key. Once a dealer key is made, we just need to go into the vehicle and learn the keys back in, which will quickly put the instrument cluster back together. We don't need to load the external EEPROM. There we go. It will be calculated. So now it's calculating the immobilizer data. Please save the immo data. Okay, so you can see here it's got our component security, it's got all the data, the keys that are stored in the vehicle. If I hit OK, so now what I need to do is I need to make a dealer key. So I've obtained my immo data, make dealer key. It's an add key scenario. So I'm going to generate a new key. For this, I will need my adapter, which comes with the device, and we are going to connect that. So, right, generate new key. So it says OK. It just says, place a PCF key adapter and put the working key in there, which I've done. Reading key data. That's right, it's got it, that's fine. Select the immo data, which is what I'm about to do, and there we go, we've got immo data. That's the correct immo data. I can see all my data on the screen, and I hit continue. Please save sync data. So now I'm saving the synchronization data, which it's just done. So now it's asked me to put the blank key. So I take my working key out and put my new Autowave key in and press continue. Reading the key data, it's unlocked. It's a VW. It's about to begin making the dealer key. Writing the key data, make dealer key finish. So now all we need to do is we need to put the instrument cluster back together, connect into the vehicle, and as you'll see on the options here, OBD. So we've got the instrument cluster. I'm going to plug it back in, and then we're going to learn the keys in via OBD. I'm already connected via OBD, so everything is good to go. So the instrument cluster is plugged back in. As you can see, it's all lit up. Now I've got my keys. I've already made it into a dealer key, so I'm just going to go ahead and OBD learn the key. So I'm going to select OBD learn. I'm already connected via OBD, so OBD learn, press OK. I'm just going to put the original key with the ignition on. So if you've got a working key, insert it and turn the ignition on. That's correct. We've got continue. Select the immo data, which I've already got, which is here. So with the immo data, it's going to allow me to go into learning mode. Now on the dashboard, I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll just close the door so you'll be able to see on the dashboard. So press continue. Number of keys is 2. So I've got number of keys 2. So have all the keys ready. That's right. Continue. So now it's putting it into learning mode. You see here key mode 0 of 2. Now take that key out and I'll put the next key in. Key mode should go to 2 of 2. There we have 2 of 2 keys. So that's all done, and I press continue. That's finishing the process now. There we go. Key mode 2 of 2 is exiting the key learning mode on the dashboard on the device. Learn keys finished. Number of keys learned 2. Okay, so that's 2 keys learned. So now I'll take my new key out, do the central locking. As you can see, locked, unlocked, original key, locked, unlocked, and I'll very quickly start the vehicle so you can see. So bearing in mind this is an electric vehicle, I'll put all my trims and everything back together after. So this is the new key, that's the original key. New key, start the vehicle, it's electric, take that out, and obviously also the original key starts the vehicle. So thanks for watching, please like and subscribe. So in this video we've covered with ACDP a virtual dashboard on a Golf GTE 2018. Thank you.